here at my park. I think I used this park in the last video I did that I uploaded. Hey, it's green, it's got trees, and anything in green with trees is a big plus when you live in the desert. So anyway, like I said, the purpose of this video is to talk about some of my most useful accessories. I know I'm supposed to put a number on it, like the top 3, the top 5, top 10, you know, clickbait stuff. And I'm not gonna do that because I can't count past the 5 fingers on this hand or the other one. So no numbers associated with this. Just some random accessories that I use that are very helpful to me, and maybe you'll find them helpful too. So let's check this out. All right, so the first thing I got, or the first thing you'll need when you have your DJI Pro, is something to carry it in. So what I use here is this Low Pro gear bag. This is the large size. They don't make this specific one, but they do have similar ones that Low Pro puts out. See, I even have the one that I use on my GoPro. This is a medium, so large, medium, and then there's a smaller one. This one, like I said, I use it for my GoPro accessories, and this is the one I use for my DJI Mini 3. And the reason I like this one as opposed to a generic bag is that it's padded, which is on all 3 sides, or on the sides, the bottom, and a little bit on the top because it's got this this inner case, which I'll show you here in a second. But the reason this is a nice one is that it keeps its shape. So when I'm putting it in my backpack, it's easier to kind of like a Tetris, like just kind of jam it in there. Some people don't like that; they like the opposite, where it's nice and loose, and I get that. But because I want to protect the device that's inside, I like the ones that kind of keep their form, so that then I can just kind of shove them in, you know, or stack them the way they need to go in. So anyway, back to this case. What's nice is it comes with this inner little mini pouch case, and what I use this one for is to hold the batteries. Got the requisite batteries and any other accessories. So I've got 3 batteries total, and then I've got some the dreaded ND filters, which I think in the last video I recommend you don't need. I mean, they come in handy, but you can do so much more without them. So if you want to pinch pennies, this would be the last thing you want to buy. Don't get this. Again, it has its purpose, but yeah, just watch the other video and you'll see what I was talking about. When you open this, it's got little like mole points or lasso points. Here I use it for my post-its to keep notes. And in here, I've got the drone, or the controller, the RC controller. I use this one in this case, and then the drone itself. And this leads to my second accessory, which normally we will get the band that goes on this, but because I've got this other accessory called feet, which I'll show you in a minute, most of the bands that fit around this won't work. So what I end up using, and even if I didn't have this thing keeping me from putting most of these aftermarket bands on it, is I have one of these lens cloths. This is a supersized one. I really like it. And I just wrap it around. You could use a piece of an old t-shirt. I used to do that, and just stuff it right there. And I don't know if you noticed, but I keep the battery out because I found when I stored my drone, even turned off with a battery in it, I don't know why it's sucking power, but it tends to deplete the battery strength, so don't like that. And then of course I got the RC controller and another t-shirt or rag just to kind of protect the glass. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the other video, but I've got a screen protector, and that's what's cut on there. I'd like to say because I dropped it, but I didn't. Good thing. But I think when I was applying this, I pressed a little too hard, and then it ended up cracking right there. But speaking of an accessory, so this is a matte finish, or it's supposed to be an anti-glare screen protector. So it does 2 things: protect and also cut down on glare. But honestly, it's just not. I mean, yeah, it cuts down glare, but it also cuts down for me seeing the screen. So the really cool new accessory I just got the other day, I'm going to show you, which is a lens hood, and it's really worked out well for me. So let's check that out. There are tons of them out there on eBay. You've seen them. There's silicone one that fits around, but it tends to, and I'll put a picture here on the side where it kind of folds down, so you're having to push it out of the way, and it doesn't quite work out. And then I bought this next one that I'll show you, which is similar to this new one that I got, except it tended to cut the corners just a little too tight, and so when you're trying to manipulate the controls, it kind of interfered with that, so that wasn't working out. And then there's probably half a dozen others, varying degrees of effectiveness. Now, I have not used them all. I've used 3 or 4, and I've returned all of them. Thank God for generous Amazon Prime returns. But this one, I don't think I'll return. Now, it's not perfect, and I'll tell you why in a second here. But basically, the way it starts is you apply this bracket with 2 little screws down here at the bottom, and then it just takes up this little space here. Some of the other ones use Velcro or come to the side, but it doesn't interfere in here. There's that other one I showed you that creates a frame here, and sometimes you have to touch the screen, and I didn't think of it as a problem, but was a problem is that it was just a little too tight in the corners when the screen kind of cut here. And on top of it, the thing was not black like this one is. So you see how you've got this, you would think any hood of any kind would be black in color to cut glare, right? And so apparently not. A lot of them are just gray in color. So with this one, you just kind of, let me see if I can manipulate this. Just kind of snaps in place, and that's it. Just got it right there. And then this has little magnets on it. So what you're doing is you come out to the outside. Let's get this to the outside. Come on. And then this little thing folds out. And then this little sucker folds out. So it fits like that. But what's nice is it does not interfere on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. You got all this space in here, so you're not interfering with your manipulation of your hands. And because it's so super black, it's got this like felt, really super dark gray on the inside, and of course dark out here. It's perfect. Now you can flip this up if you need to look down at the screen, like right there. But I have found, I've been out in this bright sun where I live, everywhere where we all live, you know, bright sun, and I'm able to see this screen like 100 times better than without it. Now, yeah, it's thick, it's a little cumbersome and ungainly, and in the case of this one, when I take it out to pack it, you just pinch here, slide it out. So this stays the same. This doesn't take up much or create more problems for me packing. But this sucker, yeah, I wish it would fold a little bit more than it does, but it doesn't. This is as small as it gets. So basically, and I gotta watch out for this because this, I wish this would fold flat, and then this would fold one more time, and then that would be awesome. And then it would fit in this backpack. But as you can see, because it doesn't fold anymore, it does not. So I gotta be mindful of this, but the benefit of having that screen so much better to see far outweighs, you know, the hassle of having to pack it with me. So again, like I said, you just kind of stick it on there. You've got all this space, so it's not getting in the way of your manipulation of the controls. And then just put that on there. These kind of flap, they don't go anywhere. This, you can move it out of your way if you need to, like that. Kind of stays in place, so that's cool. Or you can put it like that if you're looking at it, like I often am, just kind of burying your face in there and looking and trying to see where you're going, because the best way to fly these drones is to trust what you're seeing on the screen. And yeah, we're supposed to have it in line of sight, but honestly I need to do more of this, because anytime I'm looking up in the air trying to find the drone, I'm not finding it because it's a mini drone. It's small. So this is from a company called Sonova. So I'll put a link, and I don't get anything on those. They're just links for your benefit if you want it. But this has proved to be the best one. I tried to look for it on AliExpress to see if I could get it for $15, $10, $15 if I was lucky. But on Amazon at the time that I got this, it was 23 bucks. Again, dollars aside, totally worth it because I can see it. So it's cumbersome, a little pricey at 23 bucks as opposed to less than 20. But doesn't interfere with the controls, and more importantly, it's all dark on the inside and on the outside, so there's absolutely no glare. Perfect. The last thing I got was adding feet to my mini drone. Now, most of us, I have one, I just lost it. I can never find the damn thing. Have a pad that you're supposed to land it on. And I usually don't need it because where I live, out in the desert, where I'm out backpacking, I can usually land it on the ground, so it's not a big deal. But we do have to be mindful, and myself included, not getting a lot of dust and debris inside these little motors. These bushings are open. I've been wondering about that accessory. They sell these caps that go where these motors are open, but I wonder if it will create unnecessary heat. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in the comments can inform me on that, or I'll look it up. But I don't always land it on a pad or have one to land on, or this nice little camping table. So I'll just land it on the ground. So because of that, and with the Mini 3 sitting so low in its profile, it has no feet whatsoever, I added feet. So this is from a company called DJI Tech. Did I say that right? I'm sure I'll put the regular correction. But basically, yeah, okay, DJI Tech. See, I can read. Haha, it's right there. You put this little cradle, it just snaps into place, takes up very little room as far as adding to the girth. It is enough of a thickness that to put those bands I mentioned at the beginning, you can't do that. But in this case, you've got those two little rear feet that help keep it a little bit off the ground, and then you snap these into the front boons here, and you just fold it out like that. So see there? It just folds right out, boom, and then you've got yourself at least an extra inch on the front and back. So yeah, I guess the original mini drone comes with this one little foot at the front, but if you can see right there, it just helps. Let me take that off again. Helps keep the motor off the ground, getting the muck and the debris, and of course protecting your sensitive little gimbal. But it's not a bad, and I think it looks cool, and the weight is insignificant. So see, I put the battery in so you can see it doesn't interfere with putting that battery in or out. Good to go. And then you got this little feet, so you get a little bit distance. Here, let me cut this real quick. Got you back. Got to get the close up. So on the ground, even here on this low cut grass, those feet are just going to help keep it just a pinch more. So these blades, I mean, this grass probably wouldn't hurt these blades, but it also would be better than having it really where it's buried way down there. So just adding these little feet is proving to be something that I've had it on both of my drones, and I like it. Admittedly, I like the way it looks. Gives it a cool kind of a pterodactyl look, I guess. But it just gives some of that safety margin for me, and I need a lot of margins, trust me. As to keeping it off the ground there, there's probably a better view of it. So it just helps give you that spacing. And again, I think that particular, they still sell it. It's around 15 bucks on the Amazons. So good stuff. So yeah, so let me count. So I told you I can count up to 5, right? The DJI Tech feet, number 1. Number 2, add the Sonova. Did I say that right? The Sonova lens hood, or I keep calling it a lens hood. Screen hood, extra black, little pricey at $23, but perfect. Doesn't get in the way of manipulating the controls, and other than being cumbersome when you take it off, it does the most important thing that it's supposed to do, is allow you to see that screen. So that was number 2. And then of course, using a t-shirt or anything else, you get a Velcro strap if you want to go to Harbor Freight, and wrapping the drone up so it's protected in your case. And then of course, the case itself was important, how you pack. And these are small enough that they're not cumbersome. I think the one from the Fly More combo for DJI is nice. Everybody rags on it, but it's a little too fluffy, and it doesn't pack as small as this, but still padded and keeping it in shape. And then, like I said, they sell other sizes, and they still make it. Like I said, the Low Pro, a little pricey. I won't lie. I think this one, found it on eBay for 40 bucks. Again, if it was like 25 bucks, 20 bucks, that'd make me more comfortable. I think this one was about 30, and then they have a smaller one, and they have other sizes, so they're pretty cool. But that's it. Yeah, those are my my recommended accessories, top 5. There's your clickbait shot, you know, and I find them useful. So let me know what you think and what you guys use in terms of helping you with your drone takeoffs, landings, and using it, right? Cool.